My name is Christine, and I'm a freshman this year at Montana State. I was lucky enough to grow up with parents on staff with Crew who loved me a lot and taught me all about God from an early age. I have lived most of my life in New Mexico and Massachusetts, but recently moved here to Montana to be an MSU Bobcat. I was pretty young when I accepted God into my life to be my Savior, but at that age I didn't understand what a sacrifice it would be to give control of my life to someone else. Fully understanding how to trust God here on earth has always been hard for me because I am pretty independent by nature and have been that way for as long as I can remember. Medically, I have had almost no control over my life, and so I've always tried to control other things to gain a sense of power and security. When I was 5, I was diagnosed with a chromosome condition that resulted in growth issues and shots every day for 10 years. I'm in the doctor's office for blood tests and physicals at least every 6 months. This condition also puts me at high risk for diabetes and adds some unknowns when it comes to pregnancy. To add to that, in 6th grade, I was accidentally shoved into a wall playing games with my church youth group. At first, the injury didn't seem very serious, but I ended up on crutches for most of middle school and finally had 2 surgeries in 8th grade. These uncontrollable physical issues created in me a need to be in control of other things, anything. I saw God as a therapist, someone who I could tell my problems to, but at the end of the day, I had to fix them. The Bible would give me advice and encouragement, but I was the one really doing the work. It was an exhausting way to live. I ended up trusting and relying on myself more than God. I was stressed out and disappointed in myself when I did not meet my own standards, and I felt powerless to make changes in my life that I needed to make. It was a lonely time for me. It wasn't until I actually came here to Montana that I realized God is present and powerful in my life, and I can trust Him. It is a long, continuing process, but I've started to desire God's power in my daily life and to trust His control over my future. It scares me to have so many known challenges in my future, like hip replacements and pregnancy complications, much less all the unknowns, but I do believe my life is in God's protective hands and that He has good things for me. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." I have learned 3 important things. There is more freedom in trusting God than in trying to change and do everything on your own. The weight of my world was put on His shoulders when I asked Him to carry my burdens and unknown future, and submitting my life to Him has given me more joy than I could have ever experienced, relying on myself and trying to be in control. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I am interested in knowing yours. Please use the link in the About section to connect with me and share your thoughts.